just get started with that. Good. So my again, you saw this, and I don't want to assume that all of us are media planner. I don't want to assume that all of us are working in the advertising agency, but it's good to have you, friends, colleagues, former students. Yes, I see a lot of faces that I know already. It's good to have you all here after a very long while. Uh, Before we get started, I'm just going to give you a quick background information of why this training. Before I move ahead with that, my name is Sheyi Omotunde. I'm an entrepreneur. Before becoming a digital entrepreneur, let me say that, digital entrepreneur. I have 7 Facebook Now Meta certification. That's media planning, media buying, credit strategy, e-commerce discovery specialist, community management, lead trainer, and digital marketing associate. I didn't just have this certification. I've also have an opportunity to work with agencies running into that do advertising budget when it comes to media planning, running into millions, like 300 million. I think the maximum I've done so far is like 300 million media planning. And at that point, I was like, there's no amount of budget that shouldn't be created at this time. So over the time, I've been able to work with agency, not as a full staff, yes, on a consultancy basics. So all they need to do is send you the strategy document, and I would translate the strategy document into a media plan, strategy document. So maybe you are a strategist. I know we have strategies, content, and everybody here. At the point in time, I couldn't take much of those media plans for these agencies as a consultant. Sometimes some agency 2 or 3 in a week, in a month. And again, the agreement still agreement. I still get whatever we agree that this is what you are going to be paying me for consultancy in a month on retainer basis. So this, I see it's becoming a problem, where I started telling some agency that I can't continue with this. Like, I have to start leaving some of these jobs because I have some other things that I engage to. Again, other things I'm engaged, which pays more than that. So when I say pays more than that, maybe at my level, it might not be for some of us here, it pays more than that. So, and when I mean pays more than that, things that I prefer things that pays in dollar than naira right now. So that's what I mean. It's not that the pays are low. An average media planner in this industry is 300K average in this industry. I just have to tell you. Currently, I have like 2 agencies on my neck right now. Like, do you have anybody? For the past 3 months, I couldn't get them anyone. There's a lot of strategies, content, and all that. No media planner. And without media planning, they're still buying. And clients are getting more aware of what is going on. So they want to know the outcome even before they start. And it's only media planner that will be able to get this for you. So this is beyond having the certification. This is actually working on several projects. Okay, so that is just the background information why I have to do this. I didn't have plans like, okay, let's see if we can train some guys. And when we have this request, and again, apart from training, we have this request, they go there, they work for them, yes, on full-time basis, on part-time as a consultant, or they want to just use this as part of their career growth, because there's competition out there. You need to be aware of that. So you can't be on this call if you don't have at least an idea of what media communication agency is. So I'm not going to bore you with all those stories. So let's move on. This is quickly what we are going to cover during this time in this section today. I'm going to briefly talk about media planning, right? Note, this is not a media planning class. I can't combine the two together. It's a separate role. Yes, I'm aware that in Nigeria, a lot of organizations make it hybrid. Yes, I've worked in an organization where, as a consultant, again, I've never been a full staff of any agency, but I've been working as a consultant to them, right? Where they say, okay, but you can do media planning. Please help us with this. Please, if you don't do this, we are not going to get our retainership payments. So I have to do that. Sometimes I have to create a report, because most of these companies, multinational, if you don't give them the reports, forget about your payments for that month as a retainership. Forget it. So most time I double those roles, but a lot of times it's very, very important that you clear that you are a media planner. You are not buyer, right? Except if you have that skills, and they should be able to pay for your service, really. So I do that a lot. So we are going to be talking about media planning, what are your role? I'm going to make this as practical as possible. It's going to be from my experience. It's not what is written anywhere. Yeah, it's going to be a lot from my experience. Okay, the strategies for effective digital media planning. And I'm going to talk about the upcoming training. Yes, upcoming training, and that is the reason for this. I just said, guys, that a lot of people might not really know what is. They just know that it's media planning. And meanwhile, there's traditional media planner and digital. I don't do traditional. Yeah, so for everywhere that I've consulted for, so they have their traditional media planner that do the radio, TV, people, all those things. I don't want to add that to a lot of things on my bucket already, right? So going to that, then these are just our agenda for today, right? So simply put, as a media planner, what you do is you create a roadmap on how you are going to spend an advertising budget across the media platform, basically. But not just only that, you need to be keeping track using several tools to keep track, because at the end of the campaign, you're going to be giving a report. So you don't just have to waiting for the end of the campaign, because campaign can be 6 months, can be a year. So you started keeping your reports on a weekly, on a monthly basis, right? I have examples of so many of those things here. I keep my document as well, part of which I'll be showing you some of those if time permits us, because I don't want it to be a very long call. Some of you will have so many things to do. I know how agency works, right? Again, as a media planner, you are going to be using your number one tools as a media planner is going to be Microsoft Excel. So a lot of times when I work with people, because I work remotely, I also work out of office. Yes, I say most agencies that I've worked with, maybe I only visit office once, and that once is maybe I say I have to go, and they just beg me that, please, can you onboard someone for me? That's the only time that I've ever had time to visit most of the agencies that I work with, right? So your best tool is going to be Excel. So you need to have some basic fundamental of Microsoft Excel. This is where you are going to create different channels, the media types, different metrics that you want to measure. This is the percentage of audience that is available on the platform. This is total number based on their budget. This is how many they can reach. So this is where you are going to be doing that. So Excel, it's your number one plug. So if you don't have knowledge of Excel, those are part of things you are going to learn. Okay. So as a digital media planner, your job roles, a lot of things that you're going to be doing over time is you are going to be preparing media plan from strategy document. Hey, this is not, I'm a Facebook marketer. This is not, I'm a Google marketer. This is not, I'm a professional digital marketer. This is someone, a team of strategies, content, creatives, like 3 departments together: strategy, content, creative. They have put a media strategy document together. You have to translate that into number, right? As a media planner. So this is not, oh, I'm very good. Yes, give me 100,000, give me 200,000. I'm going to run out for you. No, 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 no. Everything has to go with the direction of where the campaign is going in, because you're going to give a report. So, like for example, look at this, and different plans can even be in 7, 8. I've worked like 8 phases spanned over a year plan. So you're going to do that. You'll be having some strategy document of 200 slides, if not more. Yeah, I've worked on some strategy document like that they will send it to you like, what? But again, those things make you a pro, because by the time you finish it, is another road to cross, right? So you're going to be having that. You're going to be able to put in numbers to different phases. What are the KPIs? Clear KPIs is very important. What are the KPIs that you should going to be measuring, and what are the things that you should be looking at for the platform, how much you want to spend across all that. So you are going to be doing that. Clarity in budget. So one of the major reasons why for media planning is clients want clarity and transparency in budget. Don't just tell you laws that, okay, you've exhausted our budget. How do you spend our budget? It's only a media planner that can make that happen. We don't have most of that. I don't work with any agency as a full-time, but I work as a consultancy. You might not even know some of those agencies really, and I'm not here to mention any one of them, right? But from my experience, this is a role, this is a skills. Even if you go to LinkedIn right now, we have a very limited, it's just about people that have the certification, people that can get their hand dirty. That's what I'm talking about. People that they can say, this is 1 billion advertising budget, 40% is for digital. Go ahead, this is the media plan. This is a strategy document. That is it. That's the things that I'm talking about here. Clarity in budget, they want to know. Insight, because insight from strategy document are going to be helping you to create an informed budget, right? Those are the things. Then clear KPIs, they are looking for that big time. That is one of the essence of media planning. Then you remember I told you that Excel is your number one tool. Excel is your number one tool. So with Excel, you'll be able to be doing a little bit of data analytics. Just imagine, okay, let's say you're working with a bank. I've worked on financial institution, banks. Yes, through those agencies that I've talked about, that talk about just like, okay, our customer base is 4.5 million. Before the Q3, we want to make this to be on 8 million. What can we do? How do we get, okay, our Instagram is 200,000. How can we take that to 1 million followers? Those 1 million followers, how many of them will convert to have an account? What can we do? What are strategies? So the strategy department, the content, the creative are going to come up with those clear roadmap to achieve that. It's not left for you, the media plan. And during the presentation, again, because you are the one that put this together, you have to show up. So I've shown up in a lot of presentation like that where I have to break down. That is where the clarity of the budget comes in. So I have to show up. I have to say, okay, this is it, this is it, this is that, this is that. So measurement and analytics, that is your role as a media planner. So what are the things that have helped me over the time of this experience? I still work, but I don't take much of that right now. I'm intentional about some certain things at this stage of my life right now, right? But I just believe there should be a succession planning. That's one of another reason for this training. Like I've looked everywhere. People that do this, they are not much. And even if they do it, you don't know, or maybe people are not giving out. I don't know what it is. It could be anything, whatever. But I just think a lot of people need to, a lot of digital marketers, creative strategists need to have this as part of their skills. Okay. So start with insight. Insight from strategy document is going to help you a lot. So once you get that wrong, you are going to be in a loggerhead with strategy and content people, and that is not going to be a good life for you, right? You need to know the metrics, because during the strategy document, there are a lot of things that are going to be mentioned. We are going to be doing this. Sometimes the strategies we just put that, oh, this is what they just want to finish, because most time it's usually a fire brigader approach. When the account department goes out, instead of telling the client that, oh, this is going to be ready in a week or 2 time, they will tell them that it's going to be ready next tomorrow. Now they come back. You know this experience very well. It has happened. They've called me before and I said, Sheyi, we are having meeting in the next 1 hour. This is strategy document. Can you make this happen? Yes, it has happened so many times until I said, guys, don't just go out and say this. You cannot just, like, these are things that you have to put numbers to. But again, as time goes on, you started having your data, those things are going to be easy. In the beginning, it's going to be hard. That's truth. That's the fact. It's going to be very hard in the beginning. But as time goes on, you do it. My first 3 months as a consultant with my first agency, it was mad for the fact that no one onboarded me. Do you know what I mean? Like no onboarding section. I just get into the pool and started working on a big budget. That's crazy. Yeah. Okay. But those are things that I want to give out to you guys. Okay. You need to know your metrics, understand your strategy document is very key. It's very, very important. I can't overemphasize that. Okay. Media buying card rates. So you are a planner. So without the card rate of different media planning platform, you cannot put your data together in an Excel sheet. Either most time I use Google Sheets, or sometimes I'll do it from Excel offline and migrate it to Google Sheets, right? Because I'm not so that everybody can work, so that the traditional media planner can create his or her own column to and put those other ones there. So you need to know that different media platform, you need to know the category, so that when the strategy document talks about those different points, touch points, you can be able to check your updated. Yes, updated is very important, because this media platform right now, as things increase, they update their platform. You'll be able to put up those number updated on your media plan. Question is very important. I put it on that last one because it's very, very important. So when you look at the insights, the metrics, you understand the strategy document, you have your card rate with you. Yes, card. So from experience, if you contact Twitter, like Twitter right now, I think Aldana do the support for them. If you contact them, they will give you metrics of how much it's going to get you to get anything. How much is going to get you to get? Who is that, please? Who is distracting us? Please mute yourself. That is a blessing, right? So Google, I remember I contacted Google that night. They said there's no benchmark. Despite the fact that I have so many links with Facebook, they said there's no benchmark. It's only Twitter that was able to give me benchmark. Programmatic, RSKME were able to give me some benchmark as well. I'm just trying to tell you some of those things. Anyway, I'm going to be some a lift instead of climbing the ladder. I'm just trying to share my experience. So you need to have all these card rates big time, so that, because those are the things that are going to determine how fast you'll be able to put your data together. It's very, very important. Now that I've talked about all those things that you need to get, the strategy document, let me go a little bit slide forward, backward, because again, I will not assume that everybody know a strategy document, whatever it is. So let me take out of my my slide. Yes, I just get out of my slide right now. I want to show you. I know, yes, you might not even be on this if you don't know example of how a strategy document look like. But I want to show you, just in case a beginner in digital digital marketing industry, media communication, that want to go ahead with these skills, right? Just in case I'm going to. So this is an example of what a strategy document is. Let me even see. I want to check if someone here. Yeah, like I still told you that I have so many faces here. Okay, the person that actually created this strategy document is on this call. That's what I'm checking. Right? So I check, right? So yeah, now, so this is a strategy document. So this is what agencies is going to send to you. Either you're working as a part-time. And your name is there, I didn't remove it. Please give access to the screen record. Okay, I'm good to, right? So you're going to have a strategy document like this. If you're working maybe as a consultant, you are not full-time, something like that. Or even if you're full-time, you're going to get this. Sometimes you might even be part of the strategy. Sometimes the strategy people want you to put the KPIs as part of their slide. Yes, that's happened before. So Sheyi, please, apart from that, can you put your KPIs on the slide for us? So you cannot get the KPI without finishing your strategy document in Excel. So you can just lift those data from the Excel, right? Yes, I'm going to give the access to everybody to this recording after this class. Thank you. Right. So this example of strategy document, you see the goal, you see everything that the strategy, the content, the creative put together that they are going to do. So your job is translating all this to what the client wants to know. What the client wants to know is the numbers. What is it for us? How much are we spending? What is going to be return on investments? What are we getting? You see all these fancy creative, they like it, but it's not what they are looking for. Yeah. So like this, now look at this. So when you, as a media planner, when you see, oh, remember I said insight from strategy documents. As a media planner, when you see things like, oh, when the person that is presenting their client is presenting, say, oh, we're going to be using platforms such as Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Google Display Network, and LinkedIn. So at this point, you've already seen that, okay, I have a placement platform, media platform, Facebook. So it simply means whatever that has been said here must be translated in your media plan. Yeah, in your media plan. Then again, so all those things. So you need to read through this, understand. Anyone you don't understand, you ask the question. Can you see when you say 2-month timeline, it simply means your strategy document, different phases of the project are going to be on separate sheets on your spreadsheet with the cost for each of the platform, right? If they say they are going to use influencers, remember that's what I said, you need to have your media card rate. So you need to get this guy media plan rate so that you can put it, because if you don't have it, your media plan is not complete. You need to get all those things. So the suggested influencer, the tweet, so whatever that have been mentioned in the strategy document, can you see, though, I've seen another faces now, because this, for example, is going to have a sustenance as a face. That's going to be another spreadsheet. So what is going to take on that sustenance phases of the campaign? Those are the things. So like now, so again, you need to get this, you need to get, so most times will be able to get this from the traditional media planner. Yes, I just ask, like, again, that's why I say you ask question. Has the traditional media planner gotten that? Yes, so all those things. So you just put it together. So if it's going to take a mini series, who are the cast? What is going to cost the cast? All those things are the things that you're going to put together. So again, basically, these are the timeline. You have to put all those things. So you can see, you cannot get all these without your media plan done, right? So this is things that, can you see, these KPIs can be lifted up from the media plan, right? All this can be lifted up from the media plan. So this is an example of a strategy document. I have to show you that so that you see how it looks like. So again, I'm going to share my screen again. I'm going to show you an example of a spreadsheet here, because these are the things that you're going to be doing. Yeah. So this is even a very small media plan. So if you are working on an agency, most time the least I've ever come across is maybe 80 doc, 80 slide deck. That's the least I've ever come across. Strategy documents. Most time you are going to be having things that are stuffs like over 200, 300, yes, over 200. But if you have been doing it from the little going forward, you'll be able to know what are the things that you need to, like, at the time I begin to have like a format, and those formats are, even when some of my old students just reach out, I just check my file and drag any of the format. I say, yes, it's, go and see what they can do with it. Sometimes some of them reach out to me. I'm also on a tight schedule. It looks like, oh, and that's one of the reasons for this. I'm also a tight schedule of so many things around me, but who do you want to be telling that, guys, you know what is on my table? So we just have to, can just leave some of those templates and say, please go and work with it. This is an example. So I've actually, this is a project. This is a project. So I've actually removed the company names and all those things, but just to be able to show you. So when you see a sheet like this, awareness, onboarding, and engagement, it simply means during the strategy document, the strategy team and everything is being said that we are going to have awareness stage, onboarding and engagement. Then you can see 1 month or something there, right? So 3 months. So it simply means they specify the timeline in each of the stages, right? So you also need to work with that. Everybody must be on the same page, right? Then after all that, you do the summary of what is going to take, because at the end of the day, this is where the board will check first. Then you need to always find out the current exchange rate in dollars, right? So that I can convert it with to Naira, because there's some platform that the agency might have to use the dollar card and all that. So you have to know both in currency. Then you have to know how many impressions. So at the end of the day, as part of the report, so if you say you are getting 23 million impressions, and your impression, your dashboard, your reports, you must have that, because this is what you tell them that you're going to have. Then the number of reach and all that. So you don't just get reach. Reach is actually going to depend on the frequency. And what is frequency? Frequency is actually how many times a particular ad displayed to the people that I wanted to. So these are like different examples. These are things that I'm going to learn. How do you get all these budgets? How do you get the frequency? How do you determine the frequency? What is your audience size on each of the platform? How many percentage of those audience are they going to reach on this platform based on their budgets? So this as well explain everything, and you are going to present it when your organization is presented to a client. So when you get to the media planning part, they are going to call you. So that's where the analytics and reporting skill presentation will comes in. So you're going to break down this. I think it's only my first presentation. It's one of the financial institutions that we have a little loggerhead, and there's a reason. And I'm going to tell you so that I can learn from that. The reason is that this financial institution, they have not been running what we call performance marketing, meaning they have not been keeping their data. And most of the ads they have been running are strictly awareness and engagement. So at this time, they want to be doing real lead conversion and lead. So they don't have any data. So most time they will assume that you can just go and manufacture that, right? So after the first meeting, I just thought to see you. I said, like, I keep quiet during that meeting because of you. But next time we're going to have this, I'm going to tell them what it is. So, and in our last meeting, I just said that, do you guys have an historical data? No. I have access to the dashboard. I said, I've checked this dashboard. All the campaign you have been running across platform, Google, Facebook, programmatics, everything you have been doing are basically awareness and engagement. These are not performance ads. These are ads. These are not things that I can lay, okay, oh, this is the issue of what has been costing for lead. This is the history of what has been costing for a certain conversion for different kinds of ads. So you have to tell them that, come on, if you don't have this data now, we keep on rolling on the same roundabout, right? So as a result of that, we now started running that kind of ads. We begin to generate data. As we generate data, it's now very more easier. So a lot of you might fake that, because most of this agency, I'm telling you from experience, they don't have this data. Maximum data you see most time is awareness and even ordinary traffic. And clients can come from any forms. Clients can form in the form that, okay, we want traffic, we want conversion and all those things. So if you don't have the data, if the agency does not have the data, you need to be the one to start. You need to tell them that you cannot manufacture that data. So the agents, the client need to start running that kind of ads. Once they started running that kind of thing they are asking for, that's adding marketing to science. You can, it's not going to be very easy for you to forecast, because media planning deals with forecasting too. Like what is going to happen even before running the ads. So with that, we started doing some stuff around that, and it's now becoming more easy to say, okay, this is how much it's going to cost for this conversion on average from each of these media sources. So that is on that one. I think it's very important for me to actually point that out. So let me go back to the slide right now. I'm a practical person, so I don't like doing just slide. So that's why I'm trying to get it out of my slide deck for you guys to see. So let's go back there. I'm in now. So ask question is very important. Yes. So now, for some of you that have actually got to the landing page, maybe you have seen it and you see how much it costs for this month, for this training, because it's not going to be free. So if you are not going to discipline yourself, like I have to discipline myself, sleepless nights to do what I'm doing right now, not to train you guys, but to actually start working as a media planner, right? Because there's virtually, even in my connection, you know, in your network, you have a network, there's virtually no one that I can actually ask on something. I ask maybe like, oh, I've not done something like that. I've not done something like that. So for you to be on this call, this training is going to be 2 Saturdays, like 4 hours, 2 Saturdays in this May, Saturday 7th and 18th, where we are going to be working with case study. So everybody that opts into this, you're going to send me different case study. It could be a project you're working on, and we're going to work, because the best way to learn is to work on those case studies. So if you being on this call, you are going to have 50% off of this training. This training is scheduled to be 150,000. This is what you will get in your first job. I'm telling you, yeah, in your first job. It's scheduled to be 150K, and it's not for everybody, really. It's just for people that are ready to skill up and grow on their career. This is not the only thing that I do. For people that knows me very well, I'm an entrepreneur first before every other thing. Every other thing comes in after being an entrepreneur. Every other thing comes in after that. So this is going to be 50% for everybody only on this call, or your opportunity to watch this after now. Meaning, before now and the training day, if you make your payments, you can reach out after now, either through the WhatsApp or anything for the details, right? You'll be able to pay 50% off the training. That is like saying 75,000 naira. Then even after that, if you now want to do certification, like let's say Facebook media planner, because again, people want to see people that have some of those certification. But for me, it's not important. I have to do those certifications so that I can back up the practical knowledge that I have, really. So you'll be able to do that. So that is on that. So what are the things you are going to learn? I'm going to quickly brush through that. And if the time didn't permit us to take some question on this live chat, I would like everybody, you can drop that on the WhatsApp group. That group is going to be on. It's going to be a community. And you can also drop on the comment section, and you can also reach out to me personal. Sometimes if you reach out to me personal, most times I might not respond immediately. Like during this call right now, I cannot respond. I have to put my phone on the airplane mode. I cannot respond to anyone. So that could happen during your own too. So you're going to have the training overview, which I've talked about right now. This is actually the training overview. Spreadsheets, you are going to learn how to use your Excel. I'm going to give you some of my templates, best practice, what are the questions people ask. You're going to know how to actually create it from Strike document, how you can begin to create a clear budget from Strike document, working with clear KPIs, learning measurement and data analytics, adding marketing science, because people want to start putting numbers. How will you put number to this? And like I said, we are going to work with case study, and individual are going to have their task and presentation so that we can check all that. So thank you everybody for showing up once again on this. And these are the breakdown of what we have learned. Now you'll be able to know what media planning actually is. Maybe you have been thinking it's just the regular digital marketing out there. No, it's not. It's getting into the industry, is working with the real project. Yeah, is not just okay. Oh, I have 200,000. Run a Facebook ad for me. How many am I going to sell? No, it's beyond that, right? How you can create strategy for effective media planning, then media planning training. These are the things that we talk about. So in the next 5 minutes, I'm going to take some live question. Yes, live question. So if you want to talk, we have just 5 minutes. Like I said, I don't want to take anybody's time. You can just unmute yourself or raise up your hand in the next 5 minutes. Let's do that. Any question? You can unmute yourself. Yeah. So I've make everybody that you can unmute yourself. So Adeshola, please go ahead. Unmute yourself. Adeshola, I see your hands up. Unmute yourself. Okay. While we're waiting for Adeshola, is there anyone? Just have 5 minutes to do that. Is there anyone on this call? An average media planner, really? 300K, like someone that called me, there's an agency, I'm not going to mention any of the agency, that called me like 2 weeks that I need someone that can do that. I know you are so busy, you are not going to be able to do this. And I said yes. Up to now, I'm still unable to even reply because I don't have anybody. The training is actually, somebody is asking how much is the training. The training is actually 150 for everybody on this call, 75. Everyone that's on this call. So, and it's very easy for me to know everyone on this call. Your name is here, and I have the screenshots. So it's very easy for me to know everyone on this call. Yeah. Ellen, go ahead. Unmute yourself, please. And if you can't, I think I'll make you to be able to unmute yourself. Please do. Unmute yourself.
Hi, Mr. Shea.
Yeah, go ahead, please.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for this opportunity. When I saw the image of this training on LinkedIn,
Yeah.
so what came to my mind was the place I work currently.
Yeah.
It happens that I work as communications and marketing associate.
Okay.
So it happens that I get to do content, I get to do digital marketing, almost everything.
You are
And
the whole
recently
department.
Recently, we had an event and it was a lot of stress planning that event. So I was like, okay, if this is going to be a lot of work for me, then I need to get trained on media planning, which is very important. So I think for everyone working in the agency, it's very important to have an idea of this, even if you're not going to like make it.
Oh God, is it my network or our network? So let me quickly repeat the question. A
the
beginner
major
or
part of
novice can
your
get started with this. Yeah. Then you keep learning. Yeah. I saw that question. Thank you, Ellen. Olaiton, please go ahead. You should be able to unmute yourself. I saw that I haven't given access. Olaiton, we have 3 minutes. Yes, Olaiton, please go ahead.
Yeah, good morning, sir.
Good morning, Olaiton.
Yeah, I haven't seen the landing page. I just want to see the landing page. That's what I want to request for.
Oh, the landing page. That's sheyomotunde.com. The landing page is sheyomotunde.com. But again, what you have on the landing page.
That your normal landing page.
Yeah, sheyomotunde. No, I've redesigned that. Yeah, that's sheyomotunde.com. Yeah. That's the landing page.
Okay.
Yeah. So any other question? We have 2 minutes. So Maxwell asked, can a beginner? So a beginner can learn this. Yeah, can learn this. You just need to determine not only that, just know that you are going to have some sweat time, really, because those things like your first class. That's why I have to do this overview, because I've had this on a personal note with some guys, and I know how it is in the first class. You look like, could I ever know how to do this? But as time goes on, you work on project. That is why I want everybody, Kadijat, I want everyone that's going to be on part of this. As you are making your payments, if you have any strategy document or something or case study, send it so that we can work on this. I want the class to be throughout a strategy document, because that's the major thing you're going to be doing. Practical, not story. This is just an overview of what the class is going to be. Khadija, please go ahead.
Yeah. Hello, Mr. Shea.
Yeah.
Long time.
Yeah. Like I said, go ahead.
Yeah, so I think you just answered the question I wanted to ask. I wanted to ask that, are we going to like have access to like strategic document, just like the sample you showed?
Yes,
right?
yes.
That we can read, then we'll now break it down into like the media
Yes,
plan.
you are going to have the one you can read. And so for some of you that are working in agency already, so I'm very sure you have so many of those strategy documents, even projects you are working on, you can just remove all the client details there. So that you know how to break that down. So that's just it.
I think another question I have is if you can do another class on strategy. I think strategy is another thing.
Okay,
For example,
we can incorporate
I have to
that
work on like
into, yeah, we can incorporate that into the training
a
proper. We have
go-to-market
1 minute.
strategy.
We have 1 minute. I don't want to take people's
Okay.
time. I want you to go out with some other thing. Yes, yes. Any other question? Let's see. I should be flawed. You are healthy and true. All this. All right. Okay. If there's no question again, I want to especially appreciate every one of you for taking out your busy schedule time to show up on this call in this journey of progress. Yes, it's always a journey of progress when I see people that I want to learn. Thank you once again. Enjoyed your day and have a great holiday. It's a long holiday. Bye-bye. I see you guys.